Hello everyone. Do you have any questions from the last class? Have you tried what we discussed and some exercises that I told you that you need to practice? I'm not able to hear if anybody is speaking. Have you studied any sessions that we did in the last class? Okay. Okay, Omar. Anybody else? Veena, have you got time to practice anything?
Actually, ma'am, I don't know where to find these lectures.
You don't know where to find these lectures? Okay. So for any such kind of issues now, if you face, I will recommend that group that we made the WhatsApp group for that reason only, that if you have any such kind of issues like you're not able to find the links, videos, lectures, then you can just ask in that group. And there is one sheet, Google sheet, that is shared with you all, I guess, in your mail IDs. So in that Google Sheet, you will get all the links separately for the videos, for the these drive links for the lectures. It will look something like this: batch wise. You will get for all session wise PDFs, and if there is any data, for example, if there is any data, you'll get data folders also like this. So I will ask again to share if you don't have the access. So you don't
Okay.
have any access, like not even a single PDF or just yesterday's PDF?
No, not even single PDF. I don't know where to find this. I don't have the
Okay.
link.
Okay, you don't have the link. Okay, no worries. I'll just ask him to post it on the group and share the common link again. Okay.
I asked him once.
Okay.
He told me he will send, but after
Oh,
that, but
okay, no worries. I'll
I
just ask him today. Today after the class, you will get the link. Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And if you don't get it, you can just ping me in my WhatsApp after 9 if you don't get it. Okay. After this
Okay,
class.
ma'am. Thank.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
sure. So we'll start with string operations today. So we have talked a lot about data structures. There were different types of data sets like integer, string, float, tuples, dictionaries, list, nested dictionaries, all those things. And we also did little operations on those, like for example, if you want to divide something, you want to add something, we used some operators also, logical operators like and, or, greater than, less than. All these things we did earlier. Now we are taking a separate session for string operations. Like for example, if you have some kind of a text-based value, and how do you format it, how do you edit it, and many other things that are associated with string data type specifically. So I'll just skip the agenda. We'll just straight away start. So first thing first, what is a string data type? Anybody wants to try? What is a string data type? String data type is nothing, is just a simple anything which is in text format. That is a string, that value will be a string. And how you define a string data type? You define a variable, and after defining a variable, what do you do? Either in a single quote or in a double quote or in a triple quote, if you put any kind of a value, it will automatically become a value of a string data type. So double quote and single quote work same, whereas triple quotes are used in the cases where you want to create a uh, multi-line text. In that case, we use triple quotes. Simple. Then next part is there were many operators present for concate. For concate, if you want to concate means if you want to join two string values, then how do you do it? You use a plus sign. And then if you want to get the length of that particular string, by length here we will get number of characters in your text. For example, your name is Veena, let's suppose, and then you want to know the number of characters in your name, so it will just count all the characters. So VEENA, so that means there are 5 characters. So simply the length of S will be 5, suppose. Then string data type are similarly like we talked that lists are mutable, means if you create a list, you can change it, you can update it. But what if we talk about string, these are immutable. Immutable simply means you cannot change a list, sorry, you cannot change a string or you cannot update a string. If you want to change it, if you want to update or do any kind of changes, then it will simply create a new string and a new object, and it will not update within the same ID or within the same variable name. You cannot do it. In order to update or do any kind of changes, every time you need to create a new and a separate string. That is called as immutability. Then membership and scaping are also the two things that you do with the string. Now we'll see this with when we do the practice only. So till dictionaries we covered. So we'll do some string operation. So for example, if I want to define a string data type value, then I will give a name. Name of my variable is name. For example, this can be anything as per your choice, equal to. I can write a single also text. I can define a variable with double quotes also. No issues. And then let's suppose what if you use a 3? Okay. So you are writing something like this, and then you need some text in line 2. Then how do you do it? So before I proceed, if I want to get the output of all these 3 variable, what should I write? Anybody wants to tell me? Printing, we have done a lot of printing in previous sessions. What should I write if I want to get the values of name, name 2, and name 3? The output. I want you to speak, then only I will take forward these sessions.
You have to write that name, variable name.
Okay. Okay, so fine. And let's suppose I write this and I want to print all 3. Then what should I do? Should I write it like this? Will it print all 3?
No, we should use print function.
Yes, correct. We should use print function. Otherwise, it will keep on omitting the previous output and it will only give me the output of the last one. Why? Because we haven't defined any print. We haven't logged the output. So if I want to log the output, I will just do print in all. So in that case, it will just give me the output in all 3 cases. Okay, cool. So you can now see that it has given, okay, first one text, second one was also a text, and then line 1 and line 2 because we have defined it like this. If suppose you are using it like this, let's see how your output will change. See, firstly, it's giving you error. You cannot like it write it like this. You need to do some it. There's nothing like this. If I use a single, let's suppose, it will just simply print it in a single line. It will say, print it in a single line. So that is the difference between a single quote, double quote, single as this and double and this. If you want to change it into paragraphs or you want to create a multi-line text or whatnot. So this was that. Next one is what if you want to do the concatenation? Concatenation means you just want to add two things together, two strings together. So for that, simply what we will do, let's suppose just with the help of name of with this plus sign, if you do this, it has added this county into this, and it has also added a space between text and county. Anybody can tell me that why this space is here, and what is the difference that has caused this space between text and county?
Space before county, C.
Yes, space between this. So that's why. So is a within the strings, if you are defining any string or anything such like that, if you want to create any space or anything like that, you just need to put it inside this these both these codes, and whatever however you will write it, it will take it like that only. If I'll do it like this, you can see now there is also a space. So these things are good also, but for example, you are dealing with very heavy, large data set. In those cases, let's suppose you are gonna perform some kind of activity in your CSVs, in your data files. In that case, you really need to take care of these trailing spaces which are lying empty in your data, because if when you are gonna do the query, when you are gonna do the search operations, in those cases, then these spaces sometimes create a problem also. So there is a way how we can remove all these spaces also. We'll do that later. So this is basically called as basically concat function, that if you want to add the two strings, and you can also do it like that. For example, instead of the string after this, you can add it from the two variables also. This is how then it will add it. Okay. Then after that, membership and escaping. By membership, the name, as the name suggests, membership means you want to find that particular thing within that string. Let's suppose we have defined this string as text in the name, defined this string as text, and if you want to find that is there T letter present inside this text or not. Or we will just take an example, what is defined here, that for example, there is a text and you want to find something that within the name, for example, you have this text and you want to find that is this particular string is present in this variable or not. So it will result you in boolean, true or false. Why? Because we have used in function in between. So we will use in function, that means we are finding the membership of this particular string within this variable. And for Rob, let's suppose we are defining a variable, something like this. Name is equals to Nairobi. Let's see now if it's now it is giving me true, because in this particular variable name where the value is Nairobi, the Rob is present. So that's why it gives me true value. So membership always results in Boolean output. Then next one is uh, immutability. As I said, that within the string, if you want to change anything, you want to update anything, if you are updating every time you are creating a new string, you cannot change within the same variable. So let's suppose we have this variable name is equals to Nairobi, and what if you want to change it into a uppercase, and everything you want to apply a function, and you cannot edit within the same. For that, you need to create a new variable where you will store that particular output. So name dot upper. So now it has changed. So this is what I meant by immutability, that you need to create a new string every time and you cannot update within the same thing. Guys, just give me 2 minutes. I will join back. Okay, so have you understood this immutability, that we need to create a different string every time? Is this clear? Okay. So next thing is the formatted string basically. So this I have told before also, that for example, if you are adding the f value, then if you are defining any variables inside it and putting it inside the curly braces, then it will understand that okay, fine, you want to fetch the value of this particular variable and put it here and not just a string. So let's suppose you want to combine multiple outputs together for better readability and all those things. So you just put a f here, and then within these codes you will keep on putting, let's suppose you want to put a city with a colon, and then you want to put the value of the name variable. So that's why you just put curly braces and then that variable, comma, length, and just simple writing. If you want to write something, so this is how you write it, and in the place of the values where you want some kind of a value, you just put the variable name here and it will give you the output. So let's suppose we'll just test this. So you can see that it has printed this particular output, last line, that the city, colon, Nairobi, comma, length is equals to 7, because the value of the name variable was Nairobi, and the length of, basically you want to fetch the length of this particular string text, so you did len and then the variable name, and Nairobi has basically 7 letters, so that's why it has shown you that the length is 7. Then next part is indexing and slicing. So if we just talk about the string data type, so in a string, whenever you read it from the left side, the indexing starts from the 0, and whenever you read it from the left, it starts from 0, and from the right, start from -1 basically. So if you want to fetch the first character, you will do index 0, and if you want to fetch the last character, you will do -1, and subsequently you will move it. For example, within this Nairobi, I want to fetch n, so I will do print index of this particular variable as 0, so it will give me n. And if I want to print last two characters, I will do -2, so it will give me last two characters. So we will just see what are the different formats that are available for indexing. So again, we defined a variable called s, and let's suppose you want to print the first letter So what we'll do, we'll just print it like this. So let's see what this give us. See, it has fetched n. Let's suppose you want to fetch the O. So what is the index of O? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will give me O like this. O. Or there is another way that I'll fetch it from the right side. So -1, -2, and -3 is for O. So again, the output will be O only. So you can get a single indexing also. You can do double as well. No issues. Then another thing is, let's see what this will give us. NAI. Basically, what I am trying to do here is that I want the character value from 0 index to 3 index. So that's why it has given us 0, 1, and 2 only. Because this colon means that before this I just want. That's why start from 0 and end it before the third index. So 0, 1, 2, it has given till NAI only. Similarly, let's see if we want to do this. So S -3 means from last we want third index. So -1, -2, and -3. So it will give me O only. Then let's see what this particular, what will I get from this? NIOI. NI and OI. So how do I get this? Anybody wants to tell me that why we are getting this output? Anybody wants to try? It's fine even if it's wrong, no issues.
No, ma'am, can you explain, please,
Okay.
how it
So,
is?
okay. And this one, do you want to try? Last one. I'll explain otherwise. At least try once.
I think it's like it prints the last one and the rest of the text
This one is
square.
actually printing the reverse of Nairobi.
Yes. So
So
last one is basically printing the reverse of the Nairobi, and what this double colon is basically giving us, you can see that NAIROBI, basically colon -1, what this will give you now, that it will give you a complete reverse. Whereas when we were doing this, the slice format is basically do it from and start it from the end and then give it till the end this way. And then if we talk about this one, that ::2, so that means basically n, it is just printing the first one now from here, and then it is printing this I, and then it is printing O, and it is printing I. Means it is skipping one in between, and then it is just printing it everything. This is just means that you have to skip everything in between. Every second character basically I want to print. If I just do 3 here, let's see what the output. That means every third character I want to print N, then third one R, and then the third one I. So this is printing every third character, and this is printing it in the reverse order, not the third character basically. Why? Because this means that skip it, and this means this defined it from where you need to start. So this was that, and then -1 means started from the opposite minus side. Okay. Is it clear now? I guess we covered all
Yes,
the
ma'am.
patterns in this. Yes, Omar?
Yes, ma'am, I understood now.
Okay, okay. So indexing is done. How can you just get the characters from your if you have any kind of a string data type value. Next, there are few methods we have within the string. So we discussed also strip method is there, replace, split, and join is there. So if I just talk about the strip method, so strip is basically is used to remove the trailing spaces that we have in any of the characters. For example, if I have some string like space, space, and then this random string, and then this space, and then if you want to remove the spaces before your name or before any kind of a string you have, you use strip for that. So it will just remove all these spaces. Then what is the use of split method? Split, what it will do, suppose I have a text and then I have a slash and then I am writing. No, we'll not take this example. Suppose you have dates, because usually we have this data in this format. Okay, so let's suppose you have something like this. And then there is a requirement that you maybe wants to plot on the basis of the month, you want to plot on the time series analysis. If you want to do, you want all the years in one column, months in one column, and dates in one column. So how do you do it in that cases? So for that, somebody asked you that split it into different columns. So in these situations, we use split function, and a split function always needs that what is that key or what is that particular value that you want to give, that using which it will split the values. So currently we have this particular symbol like backslash, and we will split by backslash. If I have something like this and you want to separate the by and the car, so how will you do it? You will use comma to split between those two strings, and then you will create two separate string instead of just one string. So we'll see the example for the okay, we'll see from here only. Okay, so let's suppose you have some variable raw and you have trailing spaces before Nairobi and after Nairobi, after KE you have very spaces. And how do you remove it? Simple thing, that you write your variable name dot strip brackets. So this is how always you will use your methods or your functions within Python. So this strip function is available, so you will just simply use raw dot strip, and then if you try to print s, it will just remove the spaces. It has just removed the places, the spaces before and after this particular thing. Maybe you don't understand it right now, because even if I just print raw also, it will look something like this only. But you can understand that if you are doing any search operation or any query within your data, and if you have any such cases, then it will just give you a wrong result. Now you can see that it has shifted, the raw is little shifted, and it is starting from here. So that means this is the empty space that you have in your data. So we have removed this using the strip method. Next was the split method. So we'll use the split in the same variable, and then we will simply print parts. So what it will do, it will split between these two. And for splitting also, s dot split, you can see that it has given us this, because we haven't defined anything that from where you want to split. So it has just created this comma also as a string. It has taken spaces that, okay, fine, I want to just remove the spaces and then just keep it. But if I define this, no, it's not working. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. We can split by using the comma and the backspaces. I'll get back to this. Before that, we'll just do the join.
Madam, I think we have to put quotes, double quotes,
Where?
around this comma, s dot split double quotes. Yes.
Yes, we can do this. Thank you, Veena. So this is how we do it using the split functions. So the split is this, and then the strip was just removing the trailing spaces. And then what if you want to join it? So what basically we are trying to do here, let's suppose. So what just happened here, that we just joined both the strings which were separated, and these were basically two different strings, and we have just joined it together. If you want to join the two string, you will just simply use dot join function for that, and then the variable name. That's it. And then rest split we already did. Normalize spaces, basically for normalizing the spaces we can just simply use normal split function without giving any kind of operator in between that you don't want to split by anything. So just if you just put it simply like this, so it will just split it and just remove all the blank spaces which were present between your strings. So it will do that only if you don't have anything in between the brackets here. Next one, formatting output string. F string I have already explained, but we can take one example for formatting string. Simply, let's suppose you have few variables like city, pop, and area, kilometers, like this. And city is the string data type, pop is the integer data type, and area is the float data type. And you just want to put it in some kind of a better visualized format. And then simply you will write print, and you will put for formatting, you will write F as a text. And then within these two strings, you will write your whatever you want to write, and if you want to give any kind of variable value, you will put it inside the curly braces and you will get the output. If you have some kind of a float value, you want to do the round off, you want to get it into the proper decimal points as per your requirements, for that there is a way for the formatting, that inside the curly braces you write your variable name, and then variable equals to, you do that colon 0.2f. So if there is 0.2f, that means you want till 2 digits after the decimals. If you will do it like 4, so that means you want it till 4 digits after your decimals. And usually in these float formats come whenever you have any kind of a division happening. In those cases only you will get values in the decimal, or in multiplication cases also, if you are multiplying between two float numbers. So in that cases it's good that you represent the rounded off values only. Okay, there are few examples that are there for the normalizations. For example, you have these are the trailing spaces before and after. So if I want to just remove it, then I will use the strip. And if you want to just make it into a title format, what it will do, let's see what this will do. Strip will remove the trailing spaces, and title, what it's doing, that whenever you have a title, you just have a capital letter for the first letter of your text. So it has just capitalized the first letter. And if you are doing the upper, it will just do the uppercase for all the text. If you're doing the lower, it will just do the lowercase for all the text. That is what you can do using the dot lower, dot upper. Dot capitalize is used for capitalizing all the words. And then dot title is just for the first word. Then dot case fold also. For example, this is not very useful if you you are doing any kind of a geospatial kind of activity, but just normal functions to data, for data cleaning and data wrangling stuff, like if you have some basic symbols, random symbols. So dot case fold, so basically what it's doing, it just adds 2s here for this symbol, and maybe for different symbol it will convert it into a different string. Basically it's making your random symbols, or which for example, you have at the rates, or you have hashtags, you have dot somewhere within your string in between, and it will create a problem when you are doing any kind of concatenation, any kind of operations between your layers, between your fields. So to remove all those problems, it will just make it a proper string. Then loops, I will not go right now. Loops, we'll take a separate session for loops, and then we'll come back to loops. So we did title, capitalize, case fold, and string are immutable. I already told you. Next, there is a one exercise that we'll do this together one by one. So for example, you have any kind of a variable where you want to trim the white spaces and collapse internal multiple spaces to a single space. So do anybody wants to tell what functions we'll be using for doing the first step? For the trim,
Trim.
we will be
Strip.
trimming the white spaces, we'll be using the strip, correct? And for removing the internal multiple spaces, if you have, for that, we'll be using strip without defining any kind of a strip function in between the brackets. If you are just normally writing strip with brackets, it will remove multiple spaces between your strings into a single space. And if you have defined any kind of a slash or a comma, that how you want to uh, split that string, then in that case, it will split it into two separate strings. And then for second step is to apply a smart title casing. So for applying a smart title casing, basically keep minor words like of and the lowercase in the middle, so that this we will do using the function. We'll see how we'll do it. But for keeping the capital, we use the upper. For keeping the small, we use the lower. For just capitalizing the first letter, we use title. Then we'll also understand about how we convert the spaces into underscore and create the IDs and all those things with your data itself. So first thing was simple. You have a variable we have defined, a string variable. We just printed it. So it has some few multiple spaces in between. So what strip will do? It will remove all the leading and the trailing spaces after and spaces before your string. Then you want to collapse multiple spaces between your string. So let's suppose we did split without using anything in between. So what it has done, it has removed all the spaces between this city of Los Angeles. So it has created a list of strings here. You can see by comma, comma, comma. So it has removed all the strings here. You can see that there is a comma in between. So how come there is a comma? Because we have added a comma here, that when you are printing this, just add a comma parts. If I just remove, so is this the reason that there is a comma or not? Why this comma is here? Anybody wants to try? Because comma is not because of this. This is just we are printing this variable value. Why
I
now?
guess these are splitting this into different. I mean the lists. So that is why comma is covered.
Yes, correct. This is a list of string now. So let's suppose I want to check the type also before giving that it's a list or anything. So let's see what is the type of parts. So see, now the type of the part is list. Whereas earlier the type of raw, if I just see, I want to know the type of raw, it will be string. So you can also derive a conclusion from here that whenever we split any string, then it will create a multiple strings, which will ultimately be a list. Then next part was that, for example, we'll do this. Apply smart title casing. Keep minor words like of, and the lowercase in the middle. So in this, what we are trying to do, that we already predefined few words, that okay, you have this word of, and the, keep them minor. Whereas in this particular row, we are working on this part. Okay, so in this part, if you have any kind of string, so in this, if you find any such kind of strings in between, keep it small, do not capitalize it. Whereas if you have any other string except these these particular dictionary that we have defined, if you have those, just make it capitalize, make it small. So what we are trying to do, we have just defined a variable here that just store the output here, and then we are running a for loop for I comma w in enumerate. So basically what enumerate will do, enumerate function is used whenever you want to work with search something with the index and the value both. So why we are using enumerate here, because I also want to find it using the index, means at what position it is, like 0, 1, 2 or 3, so that I can run the loop at every string which I have inside my parts. Whereas I also want to access the value. Why I want to access the value? Because I want to search that within these string, are there any such string present? Because I want to make a condition in between, that if anything like of, and or the is present inside the parts, just skip it and do not capitalize or do not perform any operations in this. So that's why I used enumerate here before the parts, that whenever you are operating, whenever you are making any kind of a function which you are gonna do afterwards, just skip anything from the minor list. So that's why we are using the enumerate function. So enumerate parts, and then in this we are storing w.lower. So whatever you will come, make it into a lowercase. So we are just making it into a lowercase, and then if it is not equals to 0, means if it is not coming here, if it's something is not lower, then result.append in LW, then put it here in this, else capitalize it. So if something, basically if something in this is present in the lower, keep it as lower, otherwise bring it here and then capitalize it. So what it has done, so in this particular part, only off was in the, everything was in the lower, but off was kept aside because of this minor, LW in minor, and then we searched in the both, and then we got the output, and then it has capitalized every other string value instead of just the off in this. So just take a look in this and tell me if you have any questions in this, then only we'll move forward.
Okay, like this minor, is it mandatory to keep this minor as tuples all the time, or can I keep it as a list
No.
also?
No, yes, you can keep it, but this is not a tuple. This is a dictionary of string. This is not a tuple.
But dictionary has key value pairs,
Key
right?
value, it is not a, it is also not a tuple. How we define a tuple? We define a tuple like this, and
Okay, yeah,
tuple is
first
only
bracket.
pair,
Okay.
and only pair. This is not a dictionary, but this is not a tuple also.
Is that a
So
set?
this, so how this second bracket is like we consider it as a dictionary, or what kind of data type?
No, this is just normally we are defining that we want to keep the values just for the searching.
Okay,
Yes.
so I can like use third bracket
Yes.
also in place of second bracket.
You can use that also. No issues in that. You can use by third bracket. What do you mean by third bracket?
Third bracket means third bracket means like list. I mean
Like the list,
list.
like
Yeah,
the
list of strings. Yeah.
list of string also you can keep it. No issues. No issues. It is just that I am just keeping it as an object, or you want to keep it as a list. It's up to you. It's just I'm keeping aside a few values so that I can use it for my search. You can keep it as a list also if you want multiple things in between. This also you can create for the result also. I have defined that the result I want in a list. That's why I have created a result with a empty list. Okay. So that's why I did this. And then basically I have defined here that I position index and then search for every word inside this. And then it has what it is trying to do, that it is trying to go here in every single string which is present inside the parts list that we have, city of Los Angeles. So we need I by, because first word should always be capitalized. So we have kept aside that first word should all be capitalized, other word follow the rule. What is the rule? Basically convert every other word into the lowercase first. So we have converted every other words into the lowercase only using this particular line, that convert everything into the lowercase. And why we have converted? Because so that it's everything is common and there is no issues after that. So when everything is in the smaller case, then we are just searching it from the minor. If this word is not the first word and word is in the minor word set, so if this is not the first word, means if it is not the first word, because the question was that first word should always be capitalized and it is inside the minor, then you have to keep it the lower case. So this line basically what is it is trying to say, if I not equals to 0, means whatever you search from the I, it is not equals to the 0. So city we found, okay fine, first came city and city is not equals to 0, and then we move to the second word, so it comes out of. So of, if of you are finding it inside the minor, then keep it lowercase, otherwise make it the uppercase only. So that was the question here. And then everything else will follow. That Los Angeles, because we find the of, other no words are matching, and then everything, first letter is capitalized here. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay. And then now, if, for example, you have all the strings in a separately and you want to just have a single string instead of a separate string. So you will just join it. You will use those brackets, these quotes, and then dot join and then the result. So now you have printed, okay, fine. This is a clean name, and if you have printed, now it is coming as a single string instead of a separate string. And now if we just try to print the,
Okay, I have a question.
okay.
This earlier output,
Hmm.
clean name, colon, and a space. So how it has created a space before city?
Where? This
This
particular?
one, yeah,
This particular?
yes, like clean name, colon, then space, then city in
Hmm.
the output.
Mm-hmm.
So how it has created a space before city?
This particular? I
Yes.
don't think there is a space. I don't think there is a space. It just looks like that. If we just create a space here, then it is a
Yeah,
space.
it is
Actually, it
doubled.
just it is just a it's just a visualization issue, I guess, because until unless we create any
No,
space between
in
these.
case if I
Hmm.
do not want any space, I just want to start C immediately after colon.
Hmm.
So in that case, what I need to do?
No, actually, it just start immediately. It is not a space. How? Because if I want to create a space, I need to add this only. Then only there will be space. It looks like there is a space, but there is no space, actually.
I mean,
Let's
like
suppose if we do the formatting. Let's try with the formatting here. That's okay. Rename. Let's see if we can remove that name with the formatting.
if we remove that one
So if you know,
space,
so that space basically comes with the Google Colab only. So there was no space, but in this,
okay,
if you want to just put it like this in your output, so that is the use case of the formatted strings basically. So if you use this formatted string, so however you will write it inside these bracket, if you put the F word at the start of your strings, so exactly how you want it, it will commit like that.
and
So.
like if we remove that one space between the two columns, like in
Hmm.
from clean name, clean underscore name,
Hmm.
equal to colon dot join result, that one,
Hmm.
like
then
so.
it will then it will not come. That it will just remove the spaces between your result. Actually, this, how are you joining, you are defining this, how are you joining. If I join it like this, the result will come like this. If I join it
Okay,
like with the black, it is used for
but
your.
the first spaces you said that it is
Huh.
just
It is,
because of visual.
it is like, how do I put it? It's coming not because of our code. It is coming just formatting. It's just the print output format. How print printed normally. Like there is a format for print also, na? How print command works. So this is simple. If you put anything inside a print command, there is a syntax for print. If you want to put, you just add to this, and then you need to write any string if you want to write it inside it, and then you put a comma, and then you define a variable name. This is the syntax for print command. So in the print command, basically what it does, it keeps your string as it is, and then after the comma, whatever variable you are writing, it will just bring your variable. So it will not format it the way you want it. It will not treat any spaces. It will not treat anything like that. But if you want to show anything as per how you want it, how you want to display it, then that is the use of the formatted string here. If we see in this also, na, I skipped this because I thought I took formatted string into many classes, but this is the actually main use of formatted output with F string, so that you can have same output however you want to. We do this also.
Okay, so that
Hmm.
means like if I want to keep the output in in my own customization, so it is better
Yes.
to use F
Yes,
format.
yes. it is not better, it is always matlab, it is the F formatted string, the use of formatted string and the introduction of formatted string in the Python is for this purpose only, because within the string we face such kind of issues that where space is present, where space is not present. For example, we did that exercise of strip also, no, that for example, right now here I am writing it like this so that you are able to understand that okay, there are leading and trailing spaces between my string. But what if you are looking at a Excel? Can you like, just by looking, I don't think you can understand that there is any spaces in your cell values. You are not able to recognize it, there are any spaces or not. Similar to this also, that when you just normally print it like this, and print command are never used for your operation or real life production uses. Print are just only used for coding purposes, for your understanding. How do you want to understand? So that is just for the look and feel, like while you are doing the code, while you are doing any operation, it's like a log, like how we do in the normal like console.log. That is what print does. It doesn't matter, it does not, it will not visualize it properly. So for visualization you need to use the F string. There are other example also that you can, we had the example, give me a minute. See, this is how, for example, we did this city, you want city colon up. Now you can define how many spaces you want, if any symbol you want in between, or whatever you will write here, however you will write here, it will take it as it is, because now you have defined this whole thing as a string. You have added these quotes at the start and at the end. So now it will treat it like that. So whatever you will define here, however you will write it, it will print exactly like that. But if you'll expect the output in your own way with the print, you will not get it.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, so I think we are done for the today. And we did this function thing is left. And I want you to practice the reusable function. This is already provided in the sheet. And we'll do this one more time if you have any questions tomorrow. We covered single use cases, but the function we'll do tomorrow. And there are some practice questions also, and few more methods are written in the practice questions. So then we'll do this. And if you have any questions, we'll do take it forward. And in tomorrow's session also we'll cover the loops. That's why I'm skipping the loop part for today, because if I'll directly jump into any function, then maybe you'll get confused. Okay. Anything else in this or in the previous sessions? Because today is the last session for data types and data structures. From now on, we'll be moving to other topics. So data will not be touching. So I'll again ask you to come with the questions tomorrow. Okay. Okay then. Good night. Bye. Thank you, Veena.